Hi guys, welcome to another fantastic video. What I want to do is I want to go a little bit deeper into the underworld of working in America on minimum wage. We're going to talk about the fast food places on this video. We're also going to share with you information regarding Fortune 500 companies and what's going on as of February 2015 between Office Depot, Office Max, and Staples, as well as Radio Shack, and the changes that unfold that could affect millions of Americans and pretty much globally who work for these companies. We're also going to talk about two people who make the ultimate sacrifice every day just to get to work and home. So we're going to talk about all that and even the fast food places that have increased their prices. And we have a surprising ending for those in store, comic relief, really cute video at the end that'll actually be the perfect finish to the video. But stay tuned and check out these videos because these are your stories. These are your stories. And I feel like by sharing these stories with each other, we can learn and hopefully grow better as a society because of it. So inspired by these videos, I share them with you. Continue to watch. Welcome back, guys. And just to keep it real, because this is a keep it real, keep it honest video, when you're working some of these jobs, you are put in dangerous situations and sometimes you don't have any control over because it's just part of the job. If you do construction work or which require you to climb to dizzying heights, or you're a police officer, we've been seeing things on the news with police retaliation for the brutality that they give to innocent people. You know, it's just crazy. And the fact that even being a delivery driver for such a place as Domino's Pizza is dangerous. Guys, I want you to take a look at this clip. I haven't seen the full clip yet, so you will actually we'll be watching this together.
Hardworking immigrant robbed and killed for only $20. Ask anyone about Najim Messaid and you'll hear words like hardworking and honorable. But the 63-year-old father and grandfather was killed in a robbery this past Sunday night. 20 years ago, Messaid moved to Birmingham, Alabama from Jordan to start a new life. He gained American citizenship and worked at the same Domino's location for 15 years. While the money wasn't great, he worked very hard, sometimes 80 hours a week, to provide for his family. All that changed as he tried to make a delivery at building number 9 in the district at the Summit Apartments around 6:30 p.m. Sunday, when someone hit him over the head, robbed him, and left him to die in the breezeway. It was a setup. The address he was given was to a vacant apartment. Messaid's daughter says it's a shameful act because it's a known fact that Domino's drivers carry less than $20 on them, and most people pay with plastic nowadays anyway. Messaid's family, friends, and co-workers have started multiple crowdfunding sites in order to help pay for his funeral, which by tradition must take place within 4 days. He will be buried on Christmas Day.
Extra action, extra insanity, extra perversion, extra mayhem.
Guys, oh my God, that really hurts my soul to hear that. You could tell that he was an honorable guy trying to protect his family, and some stupid ass teenagers ambushed him, clocked him over the head, and left him for dead over pizza and $20. That's so stupid. That's a stupid way to die. And to put so much hard work, working 80 hours a week, and you have to work so hard just to pay those bills. I mean, oh my goodness, how do you even find the time to sleep? Look at this clip. Actually, this isn't a clip. This is an article I found. What's the day? February 11th. This was 18 hours ago, right? So this was yesterday. A female, they say right here, Domino's pizza driver kidnapped, sexually assaulted in California. Let me increase the zoom on this so we can read this together. All right. Female delivery driver for Domino's Pizza was kidnapped at gunpoint in Northern California and sexually assaulted by a teenager, apparently after he ordered the pizza, police said on Tuesday. The 17-year-old boy approached the woman on, wait a minute, apparently after she ordered the pizza. That's incorrect. They need to change that. If it was a female driver, it should be she. 17-year-old boy approached the woman on Sunday with a handgun when she exited her car with the pizza in the residential area of Antioch, about 40 miles northeast of San Diego, police say, and he ordered the woman, 22, to back into the car and forced her to drive a short distance away where he sexually assaulted her. He then told her to drive back to the location where he kidnapped her and ran off with some of the property. Police said they tracked down a teenager who was identified by the pizza delivery driver. Antioch Police Acting Sergeant Michael Mortimer said the teenager, whose name was not released, was held at juvenile hall on a number of charges. A representative from the Contra Costa County District Attorney's Office declined to list the charges because the suspect offender is a minor. And we couldn't conceive of something like this happening. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm gonna read some of the blog comments, right? Minor. He used a gun to intimidate and rape this woman. He knew exactly what he was doing. Charge him as an adult and post his mug so we can all see what this animal looks like. Okay. This person right here says, this really bothers me. Being a former pizza delivery guy over 12 years ago, there were many close calls with thugs and teenagers. Not that I had to worry about sexual assault, but being outnumbered was a major problem. Having worked with many female drivers, they always seemed worried while out on delivery. I really hope this young lady recovers. Something like this should never happen, and know the drama it can cause for years to come. My wife was a victim about 5 years ago before we met, and it has caused some issues over the years. Some people are saying his brain isn't fully developed, so they should not be held accountable. I'm telling you, if my 17-year-old son did this, I would expect him to be held responsible. He would know better. This is not about development of the brain. It's about lacking of parenting. Well, then if that's the case, they should arrest the parents too. Let me see some more comments. This punk should be tried as an adult. That one got 453 votes. I mean, come on. Let me go down the page one more time. I mean, this guy knew what he was doing because the intent was there. It was premeditated. This one says, my first job was with Pizza Hut as a driver, and at this one stop, these female kids were having a house party and told me to come in for a pizza and a few drinks. I declined, but it had me thinking, though. Another time, a woman was naked, and she told me to slip her pizza box through a small crack of her door. Duh to her. When you do that to your pizza will become a pita. A coworker who was robbed at gunpoint. I served only the summer, and I went to college. And then there was one other comment I read earlier, guys, about this one person who used to do it for years. It was a lady, and she said that they would have her go to bad known areas in the neighborhood, bad neighborhoods that had drug activity, that sort of thing. And she combated with management that she didn't feel comfortable going into those neighborhoods. And she had to consult with the district manager. And I think she said that to this day she still works there, but it becomes a strife. And she said if it was her job or her life, she would take her life. She said, forget that job. So, and I think I found another article. This is the punk kid right here, the 17-year-old who did that crime. Domino's pizza delivery driver in Antioch. So there's a picture of what it looked like. Look at him. Can't see his face, but look at him. So embarrassing. As part of the black youth, so embarrassing. But at the same time, it's really not a cultural thing. It's just a behavior thing. And people are in control of their own actions. It don't matter who you are, what color you are, what race you are, what gender or sexuality you are. It's just shameful. So these things can happen to you. I mean, it can happen. It's being reported. Real articles. It's local news, according to CBS San Francisco right here at the top. This can happen. And it's really a shame. I'm not delivering no pizzas. I'm not lifting the box. I'm not standing no cash register, none of that. I'm working from home with Instant Rewards and MCA, and I'm building full-time income, a retirement fund, and I'm being able to live my life and travel and shop and do everything I want to do because these opportunities are affording me to do that from the comfort of my own home. So definitely stay tuned. We got more in store for you. All right.
Finally tonight, it takes the average American 25 minutes to commute to work. That number might be a bit lower if not for a Virginia man who's doing everything he can to bring the average up. Steve Hartman met him on the road.
Just outside Richmond, Virginia, at the end of this cul-de-sac, we met the ultimate family man. Of course, we all love our families, and typically our extended families too. But not many of us would make the kind of sacrifice Thurman Alford has made to stay near his family.
It's all about family. If you don't have family, what you gonna do? Dear Lord.
About 12 years ago, Thurman was offered his dream job.
Bringing family together, dear Lord.
It paid 3 times what he was making. There was no question. He had to take it. Even though everyone he loved was in Richmond, and the job was in Washington, D.C. And so began what has now become one of the longest daily commutes in America.
Every 2 weeks I was changing oil. The guy at Jiffy Lube knew, he knew you my first name, he knew my football team. Says, you're here every 2 weeks. It's like I'm getting a haircut with him. He was changing the oil in my car.
That's how long this commute is. It begins every weekday at 4 a.m. He drives 80 miles to a parking lot outside Fredericksburg, which is still nowhere near D.C.
We're not there yet, no.
From here, he grabs a ride with someone else. An hour later, he's at another parking lot in Arlington.
See you later, buddy.
Which is still not D.C. He then takes a train, 2 trains actually, to downtown Washington.
Doors opening.
By 7:30, he's finally to his program manager job at the Department of Justice. To get here, he has passed through 3 major cities, forged 3 large rivers, and crossed 9 different counties. Round trip, that's 220 miles in 7 hours. So if you calculate, since he started in 2002, it's basically like commuting around the entire globe 30 times nonstop for 2.5 years.
And it's rain, snow, sleet, or hail.
Or all of the above.
It could be sunny in Richmond, and it could be snowing in D.C.
And as tiresome as all that sounds, Thurman says it's well worth it, especially on weekends.
I had a support system here and everything. So I have a happy home.
And come Monday, an even happier Jiffy Lube manager. Steve Hartman on a long road outside Richmond, Virginia.
And that's the CBS Evening News for tonight. Coming up at 8, 7 Central here on CBS, the Stand Up to Cancer Telethon. For all of us at CBS News all around the world, I'm Scott Pelley. I'll see you Sunday on 60 Minutes. Good night.
Hi guys, this is Keith Johnson. I didn't want to interrupt you while you were watching those video clips. It's just shocking to learn about 2 individuals who travel long distances to and from work. One, because he have to, because he doesn't earn enough to afford a car. That's what I'm talking about, guys. When you are living in America and you are lower class or middle class, it can require 2 to 3 jobs just to make it. You need a job for a car, another job for your rent, and another job for food. It's crazy. I mean, and there's not enough time in the day to work 3 jobs. So he's kind of stuck. He has to serve his time with what he only knows how, which is this position. So anyway, continue to watch these videos. We're going to learn a little bit more about the climate of some of these Fortune 500 companies filing for bankrupt or getting bought out due to corporate acquisition. So definitely stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Now, the heat is on in America's fast food kitchens, with workers from McDonald's, Burger King and other chains planning their biggest strike yet, calling for a boost in minimum wage, healthcare and union rights. They are already walking out and hope around 150 cities will join in. Well, the true cost of the United States' low-wage economy has been highlighted by the death of a young woman struggling to cope with a string of jobs. Marina Portnaya has the story.
Maria Fernandez was a woman juggling 3 minimum wage jobs to make ends meet. Today, she's become a tragic symbol of America's recession and the nation's poor working class.
It's very hard working. Every nighttime job over here.
Tommy Patron makes daily visits to one of the 3 Dunkin' Donuts shops where Fernandez worked.
I came over here in the morning. I was there like signs over here in the parking lot, like her name and the flowers. And I said, what the hell is going on? And I see her name.
Maria Fernandez was dressed in her Dunkin' Donuts uniform and parked in this lot when police found the 32-year-old dead in her car. According to reports, the fast food worker often slept in parking lots to get a few hours of rest between her work shifts. Investigators did find fumes in her car caused by a gasoline can that spilled over in the back of the vehicle. Friends say that Fernandez often traveled with a gas can to avoid running out of gas when driving from one job to another. For many, Fernandez's death depicts the true struggle of America's growing low-wage working class. The strongest job growth during the U.S. economic recovery has been in minimum wage work, like fast food. In New Jersey, where Fernandez worked, it's $8.25 per hour.
And what do you have right now? You see, 3 jobs and you get nothing right now. Just 32 years old. That's horrible. That's somebody's supposed to check that. What kind of life is that?
For Maria Fernandez, it was a life of working Friday night to Sunday morning without sleep. Her coworker spoke to RT off camera, fearing retaliation for speaking publicly. He says it's impossible to survive on a 40-hour minimum wage salary, which is why millions of fast food workers have 2 to 3 jobs or rely on government assistance like food stamps. In the meantime, the average CEO at fast food companies reportedly earned nearly $24 million last year, while their service employees remain among the lowest paid in the country, the richest country on the planet. Marina Portnaya, RT.
Hi guys, I'm back again. So what I'm about to show you now, early February 2015, it was announced that Staples is looking at buying my company Office Depot for $6.3 billion. I don't know if you heard the news, but we're going to check this out real quick and also learn about the fate of Radio Shack. So here we go.
Home Depot headquarters in Boca Raton are wondering if they'll be keeping their jobs. The city's worried about losing this vital company as news broke today that Staples wants to buy Office Depot. News Channel 5's Charlie Keegan is live in Boca Raton with the impact that this sale could have there. Charlie?
Right, Kelly, the news broke this morning, and almost immediately at least one city council member here in Boca Raton went on the offensive, making sure that jobs stay in Boca Raton. Scott Singer actually tweeted out at the Staples CEO, gave him a call, inviting him to South Florida. Singer says that some good can come of this deal. If it's approved, he is staying optimistic. About 2,000 people work on the campus here at the Boca Raton headquarters of Office Depot. The fear is that losing any positions here would hurt the local economy of Boca Raton. So council member Singer is reaching out to the Staples CEO, hoping to lure him down here and show him what's so great about Boca and why he needs to bring more jobs to the area.
We've got so much of an economic powerhouse, a wonderful job base, no state income tax, low taxes, the lowest taxes in Palm Beach County, a wonderful quality of life, and for those watching in Framingham, this February weather is normal for us.
Last year, the city, county, and state all pledged about $5 million together to help Office Depot keep its headquarters in Boca Raton. If the company now leaves, it'll have to pay that money back. Now, just up the road from the headquarters here in Boca Raton are several plazas with restaurants, shops, dry cleaners, other services that Office Depot employees use. I spoke with some of those business owners today. Coming up here at 6 o'clock, hear why they're concerned about the possibility of the headquarters moving. In Boca Raton, Charlie Keegan, WPTV News Channel 5.
Wow, guys. So what does that mean? It means that the company, if this does take place, a lot of stores will close, which means a lot of jobs will be lost. They're going to cut store managers and supervisors and ultimately the cashiers and all the other clerks that make up Office Depot. So you could work so hard to build yourself up and then find yourself within a blink of an eye losing everything. There you go. There you have it right there on video. Also learn about Radio Shack, which the same day or the day after Radio Shack filing for bankruptcy. Look, the dates are February 5th right here. And to flip back over to Office Depot, this was posted February 4th, 2015. If I can highlight that right. So we're going to look at the Radio Shack one real quick. Trying to highlight that like so.
Rest in peace, Radio Shack. The retail chain has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and will apparently close approximately half of its stores and transform the other half into Sprint wireless stores, and then apparently keep a Radio Shack store within the Sprint stores. One of my favorite stores as a child in the 1990s. In fact, the highlight of visiting the mall was changing the C prompt on their computers to display something like F-U or Radio Shack sucks. Even though the store didn't suck, it was a fantastic store. One of the first hacks that kids in the 1990s learned. Much of my audience has probably never seen a C prompt. Never used DOS. But Radio Shack for nerds in the 1990s like myself was really a fantastic store. and their closing, filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy is just a sign of the changing times, since radios have pretty much been gobbled up by smartphones, along with many other pieces of tech. Cameras, video cameras, MP3 players, maps, compasses, etc., etc. And this has been expected for some time. It's just a miracle that this didn't happen years ago, particularly after the 2008 financial collapse. But they've struggled along this far, but now the news in the retail world is that they will sell up to 2,400 of their stores, transforming the other half, like I said, into Sprint stores. Very sad time, very nostalgic time for some people who grew up in the 1990s who, before there was Amazon.com and other, nerdly websites that sold all sorts of tech. Radio Shack was it. A sign of the changing times.
I'll tell you why they closed, and their stuff is too high. And then you have Best Buy, you had Circuit City, which closed. Then you had Radio Shack, you had all these electronic stores competing with one another, and their prices just didn't match. And perhaps bad customer service led to their downfall too. People are emotional buyers, so they're gonna go to another place. They'd be happy to spend more money if they're treated right. And so even with my job at Office Depot, that's the war between Office Depot and Staples. A lot of people were loyal customers that shopped with us because they were happy with our customer service, because we go above and beyond and we treat people more than just a sale. We treat them as a part of our community and as a partnership. They're helping us and we're helping them. And that's what it should be in corporate America. Now, I want you to take a look at this next clip. This is quite interesting. This is something I just discovered seconds ago, and I want to share it with you about a McDonald's employee who has enough and he quits his job. He creates the biggest temper tantrum ever caught on camera. And I don't know, but I can pretty much say it's pretty much safe to say this guy is fired, okay? Now, there is profanity in this clip, so if you don't care to hear it, fast forward through, but it is reality, and this was caught on some kid's camera on a smartphone, and this just really speaks. The article says one McDonald's employee was so fed up with this job that he had an insane meltdown while on shift. It's a well-known fact that McDonald's isn't the cushiest of jobs. Employees are often overworked and underpaid, but it's still surprising when someone quits in such an explosive manner. A customer uploaded a video to YouTube of the employee's freak out at a McDonald's in Minnesota. The man could be heard screaming at the top of his lungs about the money he is owed and how many hours he's been asked to work. And the profanity-laced rant then transformed into a full-on temper tantrum featuring the employee pulling Hulk-inspired moves and smashing anything in his way. Now, this isn't indicative of the entire McDonald's company, nor is it indicative of a certain race or gender, but this was caught on tape, and to me it looks legit, and I could see this actually happening. So we're gonna watch this video real quick.
You did that. Show me. I used to say with the Versace, you feel me? I used to see what the Versace for talking about, you feel me?
Fuck nigga, pull this bitch out one shit.
Commentary on that is I actually used to work at McDonald's as a child. That was one of my first jobs, and I actually hated it and was fired, and it was actually a relief. But I did not act that way. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like, these jobs, to some degree, have some level of involvement with that whole process if it's true that they didn't pay their employee correctly or on time. But that does not give license for people to react that way. So it's just a big storm that was created, and you know, it's just another reason why, if this guy was fussing over $20, if I heard that in the video, is why these jobs don't really pay. And he was exercising what I'm sure many of us feel emotionally, but we just keep it inside because we have some common sense and we don't want to go to jail and face vandalism charges. But I definitely understand what's going on here, and quite embarrassing to watch, but at the same time, that was his real reaction. And this video is about being real, and that was a real moment caught on tape. So what we're gonna do now is I actually wanna do one more final thing with you all. I wanted to kind of talk about the increase in fast food prices since the minimum wage went up in January. I actually did participate in the election, November 2014, and I actually got some video. I actually took some video, a second video, just me standing in line for a few seconds, so you can see the line and how I actually participated in this country as an American citizen. I did exercise my right to make changes in this country. So I'm not just talking about it, I'm actually doing things, and quite interesting. So I want you to take a look at this.
My mama can't get that boy, because you know, Jeremy working all the time. And so she's acting within that program. And I was like, well, you know what I was talking about today? She's like, oh yeah, I voted in my class. We did that last week. And which is cool because I remember in school, we used to have a day for you know, and I'm glad.
He said you don't want to be a slave. You don't want to be no slave.
I am not going to be a slave. I'm not going to be a slave.
Talk back and you're fired.
Okay.
Welcome back, guys. This is Keith Johnson. Now, what you're about to witness is basically me on an afternoon this February going around taking photos of all the different fast food restaurants within a close proximity where I was at near my Walmart. I went to Arby's, Burger King, Popeyes, Subway, Rally's, and I took photos of the menu inside the restaurant. And the prices have gone up. Now, I don't have any before after slides to show you, unfortunately, but I will tell you that I can tell because unfortunately I like fast food. It's not a normal thing anymore, but I can tell that fast food prices have gone up at least $1 to $2. And just take a look at these slideshows. There's no music added. It's just gonna be silent, but go through the video slides real quick. Doom, 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 doom. Look at every restaurant menu and say to yourself, does this look right from a year ago? And then we'll talk. All right, so you see me pulling up to a local Rally's in the same parking lot as McDonald's. This is me taking live footage of the menu. Yeah, there's going to be some picture steals to come here in just a moment. That's the entire full view of the menu. There's a still shot of the fries. Look how expensive them fries are. $1.89 for a small. No way. All right, and it's a little fuzzy right here. I'm gonna zoom in on the next slide. There we go. Number one, Big Buford is $6.49. That used to be at least $5.99. That's $1.50 more at the top. There's another shot of it. Wide view angle. The things ain't changed is the apple pies. Now this is Arby's. Arby's is a staple. However, I don't eat there, but I've been in one before, and that's the outside of the restaurant chain. You'll see me go indoors, and the employees are looking at me funny, but hey, I wanted to take a photo of their menu. For all they know, I could have a sick mother, wheelchair bound, and they need to see the menu. Okay, this is Subway. This is actually inside of Walmart. Here we go. It's a clear shot. You can kind of look at the breakfast, the meal side of their menu. And that's pretty much Subway. Here's Popeyes, one of my favorite restaurants. And for the Beyonce fans out there, it was one of her favorite restaurants growing up in Houston, Texas. Now, as you can see, the two-piece is $5.99. If you look under the chicken size, it's two-piece expensive. Family meals, 8-piece, 12-piece, 16-piece. I mean, you could make your own chicken and bring your own size for way less. Popeyes have gone up. No, ma'am. Burger King, which I prefer McDonald's over, but I've never been a big Burger King fan. The burgers don't really have a lot of flavor, but this is the outside of my local Burger King restaurant. Here's a shot of some people eating, enjoying the afternoon with their nuggets or their burgers. Okay, and that is the frontal view of the front counter. And the menu. A Whopper is $6.59. Lord have mercy, it takes you 1 hour just to pay just to eat that dang combo. There's more of the menu. Okay. And then finally the last shot. So I want to thank you guys. Continue to watch. You can play this back, pause it. These prices are crazy.
The truth about the minimum wage. The minimum wage is supposed to help the poorer, less skilled, and younger workers in the economy, but it doesn't. It gets them fired. Employment happens as a result of human choices. For example, let's say some kid named Jimmy knocks on your door and wants to know if you can mow your lawn. If your lawn really needs to be mowed, you might choose to employ him for $10. If he charges $20, we might still not complain. But if he charges $50, $100, $1,000, at some point, that job will not be created. Jimmy will be unemployed. Why is this? It isn't because you're greedy, but simply because you value $100 more than that service being provided. In this case, your lawn being mowed. An employer has to believe that the value created by an employee is greater than his cost. And that is why minimum wage laws cause unemployment. It is impossible to sustain employing anyone doing work which is valued less than their wage. The higher the minimum wage, the sooner Jimmy is out of a job. Think about it. How many jobs would be lost if entrepreneurs were forced to only hire people whose labor they valued at $20 an hour? How about $50? $100 an hour? If the minimum wage is fundamentally sound, we should be able to increase it without fear of hurting the economy. Sure, some very highly skilled workers wouldn't be hurt by a $100 an hour minimum wage, but the rest of the workforce would be unemployed. When employment costs increase, entrepreneurs have two choices. They can reduce the amount of people they employ, or they can raise the price of the goods they produce. Otherwise, they're in the red. This makes the minimum wage a double whammy. Even if you don't lose your job, you and everyone else in the economy will be forced to pay for more expensive goods. Now that's counterproductive. And keep in mind, who is hurt most by rising prices? It's the lower wage workers, the very people the minimum wage is trying to help. In a free market, employment is a win-win-win situation. Employers benefit because the value created by their employees is greater than their cost. Workers benefit not only from a wage, but they also gain work experience. which they can use to demand higher wages in the future. And society as a whole benefits from that labor being added to the total pool of economic productivity. But the unemployment caused by the minimum wage is a lose-lose-lose. Workers are robbed of their wages and that invaluable work experience. Employers are robbed of the benefit that would have been gained by employing. And the whole economy is worse off because those unemployed workers are now unable to contribute their labor to help everyone's economic prosperity. To learn more about sound economics, visit fee.org.
Democrats are getting ready for a major push to raise the federal minimum wage to $10.10 an hour. Now, that's better than nothing, but it is not enough. The minimum wage should be raised to $15 incrementally over the next 3 years. Here are 7 reasons why. 1. Had the minimum wage of 1968 been adjusted for inflation, it would be well above $10 an hour today. But the typical worker today is also more than twice as productive as then. Adjusted for both inflation and productivity gains, therefore, the minimum wage should be at least $15 an hour. 2. $10.10 an hour is not enough to lift all workers and their families out of poverty. This is especially true for millions of low-wage workers who want full-time jobs but can only work and find part-time work. Most low-wage workers are not teenagers. They're major breadwinners for their families. 3. Because some employers now pay wages that don't lift their employees out of poverty, the rest of us pay for their Medicaid, food stamps, housing, and other assistance, in effect subsidizing these low-wage employers. Some, like McDonald's, actually advise their employees to use public programs because their pay is just too low. 4. Some jobs may be lost if the minimum is raised to $15, but many more people will be lifted out of poverty. And because low-wage workers will have more money to spend, their spending will create many more jobs. 5. Such a wage increase is more likely to come out of profits than be passed on in higher prices, because most employers of low-wage workers are in intense competition for customers. 6. Since Republicans will no doubt try to push Democrats to go even lower than their $10.10 proposal, it's doubly important to be clear about what's right in the first place. Democrats should be talking about a bigger increase, not listening to Republican demands for a smaller one. 7, and finally, at a time in our nation's history when 95% of all economic gains are going to the top 1%, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour isn't just smart economics, it's the right thing to do.
Hi guys, this is Keith Johnson. Welcome. We are near the end of the video. We want to thank you so much for staying with us. I got a cute little treat for you, a little bonus clip that is actually going to put a smile on your face, but we wanted this to be an eye-opening experience, a reflection of the world that we live in. And hopefully these stories inspire you and motivate you to want to do better. And know that by not making a choice, you're making a choice. And you need to really consider, are you happy with where you are right now? Are you satisfied with the income you're earning? Because instant rewards can be the perfect solution to your problem once you go through and follow the instructions by joining, going through your training, and then you can start making money as early as 24 to 48 hours later. Just depends on how fast you move. So this is an incredible opportunity to help you. Instant Rewards is designed to help anyone who needs extra income. So by sharing this opportunity, you're helping other people find a way to fish for income by partnering with Fortune 500 companies. Now, I will say I do want you to go ahead and watch the application video below, and the when you get there, of course. When you do get there to the part of the blog where you've completed proof video number 2, go ahead and look at application video and the bonus video. Just be sure not to apply or register at all until you have your sponsor on the phone with you. They're going to kickstart your application with you live on the phone. They'll also give you a cheat sheet of offers that are available that you could do that day that will allow you to go through easy and quickly. So we do want you to watch the application video when you get there and the bonus video, just so you do have a sneak peek of what the application will look like. Same application I've done, everyone done, same training, and we've made money, okay? But go through the videos only. Only go through the application videos and the bonus video. Do not apply. Do not apply until you get back with your sponsor within 24 hours. You call them immediately, or they call you within 24 hours, and y'all set up an appointment to do the registration live on the call. So that's really important because we don't want you to start the application and make a mistake. Make sure you start with them on the phone. So enjoy the new video. Enjoy this little end clip. All right.
Look how cute are they? So cute. Get him, get him. Oh, they're trying to get some. Get him, get him, get him. Give him a kiss. Yeah, give him a kiss. Well, kitten sugar. Give him a kiss. Yeah. Oh, they're so cute. Look, play, play. Ah, he got you pinned. No. God, no.